This Genesis controller that I got here is a nice addition. The buttons feel nicer than the other Genesis controller that I have. The D-pad, not sure. But the only problem I have with this specific one is that the cord is just not as long as the one on my other Genesis controller. But hey, I can, fix that. I'll just get a cord extension sometime down the road, but it's, great to have this. I guess might as well finish off the Sega thing, because there's only two other Sega-related items. I got Mortal Kombat for Game Gear, and I've kind of had experience with Mortal Kombat. Not too much, but had some. And this probably isn't the best place to start. Like, honestly, a Mortal Kombat that kind of interests me is Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PS1, but yeah, this is really a very, very common game, and, I guess it's a decent version. I guess it's better than the Game Boy version, but then again, I have a good feeling that many Mortal Kombat fans don't care for this version of the game. But hey, I don't know. This is a Japanese Saturn game, and, it's called, I believe it's called 3x3i's QSA Calcio. That's what it says on Google Translate. When you put the QSA Calcio part, it says QSA Calcio. Yeah, my Sega Saturn has a decent amount of imports. This would be my third one, and, yeah, it kind of reminds me of Evangelion Girlfriend of Steel, but, like, there's a bit more interactivity with it, and, you can actually skip the dialogue scenes, except the dialogue isn't presented in the same way, but yeah, I guess in the same way it's, again, a visual novel kind of game, but it also has a bit of adventure to it. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it, because I do plan on doing a review of this game, along with some other Japan-only games that I currently at the moment don't own, but hey. But also, I do think that the best thing about this game, well, it comes on 3 discs. The first disc is here, but the third disc has some bonus content, which is actually nice. It's basically just, showing off various merchandise of 3x3i's anime and other things, but yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Let's move on with Sony stuff. I got Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back for, PlayStation 1. And, I've mentioned it many times in my videos, my PS1 collection is pretty damn lackluster with the exception of a couple games. But, it's great to finally have this. I really wanted, to start trying out more of the Crash Bandicoot games when I first tried The Wrath of Cortex way back in 2008, even though I didn't find out till 2 years ago that the Crash Bandicoot fanbase isn't exactly very fond of Wrath of Cortex. But nevertheless, I still wanted to try out some Crash Bandicoot games, and I thought, hey, I might as well go with the second one. I do plan on getting all 3, and, maybe I could have got the first one, but the thing is, the first one isn't common on eBay. It's not rare, there's like 6 million of them, but, like, it's not very common to find, and plus you also get the ugly green label. I was lucky to get the black label. But the game itself, yeah, it's a really good game. It's got really good graphics, it's got some really fun gameplay. I honestly don't care for the whole, gotta smash the boxes to get certain gems, for the best ending. Because, yeah, I guess it's there to extend game time, but I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's very cryptic, but, hey, it's probably because I didn't really grow up with Crash Bandicoot games. What else do I say about it? Well, it is nice that this version also is, analog controller compatible. I'm not sure if you can see that, because, I guess earlier versions of the game weren't analog compatible, but hey, this one is, so that's nice. A very nice addition to my collection. Fantavision on PS2. This was one of the launch titles for the PS2, and it was originally a tech demo, but I guess people liked it enough, so they made it a made an actual game, and it's basically a puzzle game. I'm not gonna really explain how it plays. You can look up a review or some gameplay of it. But it's a fun game. But I would have not bought this for full price if I got a PS2 back then. And again, when it comes to PS2 launch titles, this is the one that immediately comes to mind. So yeah, a decent game. Not bad. Red Dead Redemption on PS3. I originally had this back on the Xbox 360 a few years ago, but yeah, now I have it on PS3. I barely played this. This is a purchase that my brother made, but I have played all these games with the exception of like Looney Tunes on Game Boy Color, because that doesn't work at all. But this, yeah, it's a Rockstar game. My favorite games made by Rockstar are Grand Theft Auto. But, yeah. This isn't too bad, I guess, but again, it's not something I can really find myself getting into. Alright, well, let's move on to the Nintendo side of things. Dr. Mario for the NES. Good game. I do like Dr. Mario, but sometimes it can be frustrating when you put the wrong color on the wrong virus. That's really freaking annoying. But, multiplayer's good, music's nice, a nice addition to the collection. It's also great to have another Mario NES game, because I only have the trilogy, but now I have this. Nice addition. Nintendo 64 games. Chameleon Twist, which I bought off a friend at high school for $10, and yeah, it's a good game, but I honestly don't think it's really that enjoyable, because, there's just something that I don't really consider this a really good game. I mean, it's got some really nice, bright and colorful graphics, but it's not a long game. It's just that, I feel that some of the levels can have some pain in the ass moments, and yeah, not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's a good game, just, not something I would have bought for full price, assuming that I was born on the time this game came out. When did this game come out? Oh, whatever, it doesn't say on the back of the cartridge. Another N64 game he gave me, which was for free, is F1 World Grand Prix, which, yeah, it's a racing game. It's alright. Sometimes it can control kind of and the only way I can, get around, sometimes it's stiff controls, as if I alternate between using the D-pad or the joystick. But, hey, it's a game that's just there in my collection. Got a DS game here, Clubhouse Games, which this is an awesome game. It's basically just a compilation of various games, like Chinese checkers is here, shogi is here, mahjong, solitaire, regular solitaire. There's also this soda shaking game. There's poker. Or Texas Hold'em to be more specific. There's Old Maid. There's, I think, Go Fish is on here. There's also just regular checkers, and there's Turncoat, which is actually reversey. It's a great game, and I think this was actually published by Nintendo, despite it being developed by Touch Generations. Did they develop it? It says right there. But just a lot of fun, just to play, whenever you're bored and you don't have anything really else to do, or even when you're playing your DS. It's just one of those games that make me love the Nintendo DS so much. Crush 3D for the 3DS. Yeah, I got this for about $10. It's a good puzzle game, pretty fun stuff. I kind of like the story, but again, it's one of those games that I just definitely wouldn't pay full price for. We're running into a theme here. But basically you're this guy named Danny, and you're in these 3D worlds, and you have to manipulate the world by making it go from 2D to 3D, or turning the camera, or crushing it, as they say. It's hard to say. Again, you should probably look up gameplay for this. I played this a few times, probably 5 or 6. But again, it's a nice addition. I probably would have played it more if it was a Wii U game. Well, that's it.